Hello and welcome. We are live again, and we are now going to attempt to carry on building the Ninjago markets. There's not many bags left to go, and it is a cold, fresh evening. So we'll see how long we can last for doing this. We have got a poll running as normal. Now, this is round number 2 for group number 1, and it is which set is the best value? Simple question, including bricks, minifigures, the size, all those kind of things, and you have a choice of 4, and these 4 have already gone against each other in round number 1. You have got the Death Star, Goonies, Black Pearl, and the Game Boy. So get your votes in and what you think is going to be the winner of round number 2. And obviously there's 4 rounds in total. Countdown is on till Christmas. And then, of course, we can put all the winners together. Now, before we do get going, did you know that there is a brand new F1 Academy? Not just a Lego car, but F1 and merged, as you can see just here, in actually Academy. So F1 Academy is the female drivers. I don't know why it's called F1 Academy and it's only female drivers allowed, but they are entering as of 2026 with a proper Academy race car. So congratulations to the Lego group and everybody else that's going to be taking part in this. And it'll be very, very interesting to see how that unfolds. And I'll do a news update on that tomorrow when I can find out some more different bits and pieces about it, because it'll be interesting to see where it's been revealed. I think it's already happened in Las Vegas, and obviously that's where the headlines and stuff have come about. That's why this car's been revealed, but I want to find all the images and everything like that of the actual race. So, excuse me, we are, he's trying to catch his breath, on bag number 46 of the Ninjago market. Now, of course, the last upload that we did of this, we built nothing. So hopefully we can do a little bit better and actually just get the bag open, and then we should be able to carry on. So obviously, as people start jumping in, the votes and everything will start to unfold in the actual poll, and we will just see what is what. But it is very, very cold in the UK today, and it's very, very cold up here. It's basically the equivalent of being outside. So it is a little bit on the fresh side. So we will see who is about, who's trying to keep warm, and what we can do with this. But I'm intrigued for this one with regards to which set is what people think is the best value, because you could just go with regards to the cost, and it's just a cheaper cost and you get a nice little set. You get a bigger cost, but then you start working out the bricks and all that kind of thing, the value of the minifigures, the actual piece size, the set size. No, what is the most valuable to you as a collector? Because I think this is the group of 4 that might change every single time. So it's very much going to be dependent on who actually finishes in second place. Now, we are building this. So we are on the next bag for this. And like I said, start of bag 48, page 199, which is step 1025. And we are going to be adding what looks like a load of little bits and pieces in the middle. So hopefully, look, I built more already. In fact, I opened up the bag. We did a 2-hour live stream and built nothing. And don't forget, it is the Insiders live stream tomorrow. So we will be covering every single Lego set that the Insiders has on offer. And we will be seeing who wants to be getting what with regards to the countdown for obviously the Insiders, because I would imagine that'd be nice and exciting for a lot of people. And yeah, we'll see exactly what unfolds over the next sort of hour and a half, depending on how long I can actually stay up here before I start to freeze, because it is cold. I can already not feel my face. So that's how fresh it is. Death Star is winning the set for value at the moment. And to be honest, it's not a bad shout. Not a bad shout if you can sell those minifigures on for good money. And then obviously the actual set itself works out to be like 10 pence a brick. And there's no teeny tiny pieces used in that just to get the brick count up. So if you were doing it from a store selling perspective, that is a very, very good shout on that. It'd be interesting to see with regards to this and the value of people that have Bricklink stores, what they actually think of everything as well. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how all of this unfolds. And it might, to be honest, it might just be a short one because I am feeling a little bit on the cold side. But then if loads of people jump in, we'll stay in here for a little while. So we'll see how long we're going to be active for. But we are building the pool table at the moment. My hands are starting to get cold already, which is always a bit fruity. So this is quite a big size. I was surprised actually how big some of these rooms are, because you look at the sets and you think, well, actually the room's going to be really, really small. But this doesn't look as big as what it does on the photos. This is quite a large thing. So I wonder what the final result's going to be, because this is definitely the pool table. Definitely. And then we'll just see. How do you put? Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I don't know how you just put a brown layer down, but I don't actually know how you put the green down. Now I do. Now I do. What is going on? Where do they go? They go upside down? Ah, not the bit I thought it was. We'll try that again. Just slide in. I think it does. Very nice. So that's half the pool table in, which looks nice. And let me get that out of the way. Let me just double check to make sure that this is working with regards to the screen share again, because we will, as per normal, jumping over to this, anything that you guys and girls are building, then of course let me know. Now obviously all of this is up and running, which is what all the stuff that we're going to be covering tomorrow will be going on, I think, a little bit later, because I think a lot of people are going to try and get on straight away for the offers. The list and stuff isn't on there yet, so I'm assuming that obviously just happened at midnight. Sometimes it happens a little bit before, so I am tempted to go live much later tomorrow if I can be bothered, and just basically wait and see what happens. So 100% at the moment for the Death Star, 2 votes in. Doesn't surprise me. Does not surprise me. Yeah, I think potentially that might win this round. Like I said, potentially the Game Boy. Well, the Game Boy's got a good shout in this one. But it did win the last round. So I think, as I said before, this is basically going to be the round of who comes in second place every single time, because you're going to need those points to get through, because I think we're going to have a separate winner every single time, or we might have a joint first or joint seconds, and that's going to be very, very important for the person that gets into the final, because this is a tight group, this one. And Arkham did very, very well in the last live stream, and that was when we're going over all of the new bits and pieces. So that's quite a clever little way of doing that table, to be honest. It's a real nice. Two of those. You just add the corners in individually. He says if you can actually find the pieces. Which for whatever reason seems to be easier said than done. I kind of knocked. There's no way I've knocked something on the floor. Ah, there is. So, I know I'm bad, but I'm not that bad. It's a bit that goes in the middle. Oh. That is a really nice way to do a pool table. I think that's very, very smart. Right, that's our page done. So we've got the little studs for balls, and they just get launched on there. So they're going to definitely 100% getting lost. So we've got a black, orange, red, and white. They are definitely going to be falling off if I'm not careful. But if you are in the background, or obviously watching this on the replay, just leave a comment. Let us know what it is that you are either thinking of getting for the Insiders weekend, of course, or what it is you're going to be building this weekend. Because I'm assuming some of you are going to try and get into the Lego store this weekend and pick up all of those sets that are supposed to be on a sale, or just the sets that are going to be on double points. Because if they are just going to be doing a nice double points weekend, this will be the last double points of the year, I do believe, because it's not double points on the Black Friday. It's all different bits and pieces with regards to the sale on that. So I am tempted by some of the Winter Village stuff. Keep looking at that train going on. I could make a really nice display with that if I wanted to, but still not 100% sold. Well, that's the blue down. Just seems to be building the thick walls. You can see just how big this thing actually is because it's massive. So it is a huge thing. Oh, hopefully it will look quite nice on display, because I still am sat on the fence with the workshop. Obviously this one is a lot bigger, so I think we should be okay. But once I've done this bag, I'm going to start doing a little bit of hunting down for stuff myself, and we can see exactly what everything is all about. Lots and lots of chunky. It'd be important to put that bit in first. I'm not going to reach. Not going to be reaching that. I suppose the big question is when is all of the other Lego set reveals going to be happening, and what do we think of the name, if it is true, for the modular? Because that sounds rather interesting. One day I will actually just get this. I'll look at the right page and just carry on and do the right thing. The one thing the Ninjago sets do very well is they overlap everything. It's never going to fall off. They shouldn't just break and fall apart. Hopefully. That's the next level going on through. It's getting darker and darker because that light's got further and further away. I did some more teal. You cannot go wrong with that. So yeah, I'm assuming there'll be plenty of people going down to the Lego store at the weekend. And then if they are going down to Lego, it's either that or they're just going to wait until midnight and spend money on stuff. I wonder if there's any hidden surprises that isn't actually, we don't know about. I wonder how accurate it is with everybody going on about 30, 20, 25. I am quite surprised that there are 2 Lego idea sets there, because they're obviously relatively new ones. You've got Big Steamboat and you've got the Willy Wonka, which didn't get a single vote in our poll in the last one. So that kind of probably means that not many people might get it on the offer either. Minifigures look nice, but just depends on the people. Oh, this booklet. See, there's another one. It's stuck so bad that to be able to see That bit, all of that, you couldn't see. And all I've done is just push it down so I can actually see it, and it's just ripped it out. This is an awful, awful printing of this booklet. It's so bad. But I'm sure we can just crack on. It shouldn't matter too much, he says, when he breaks it and then has to figure out how to do everything again. That one. What's going on with the votes? 100% at the moment for start. It doesn't surprise me. I think out of the three, it is the best value for money. So we're 3 for 3 on that at the moment. That does not surprise me whatsoever. So that slots in there very nicely. And then we've got the next one to go in. Actually, I don't think I feel my nose. No, I can't. I have got a t-shirt on, thermal top on as well, and a hoodie, 2 pairs of socks, and a pair of trainers, just to try and stay warm enough, because the temperature has dropped very, very quickly. And it was snowing again this morning, so that was really interesting to drive around, trying to get to where I need to go without crashing into a tree. Right, it looks like we are tiling and other big bits. We've got 1, 2, one of those for 3. Not bad. I'm trying to figure out what this bit actually is. Started to watch the Ninjago stuff again yesterday. Did I catch that? I did. Fantastic. For the Rising Dragon, and it's so good. Such an easy watch as well. You can literally just have it on the background and follow what's going on. But the amount of minifigures that they generally could make from that, it's scary as well. The genie, you know who the genie is. That's who I'd like in minifigure form. He's a really good character. I want you. What is that? Caught that. It's a drink. 100% sure what it is. Oh, jukebox. The jukebox that we're putting. I was like, what is this? The jukebox. So we are now on step 1046. So there's really not that many bags left to go. So the next thing after this will be a repair build. Unless I crumble tomorrow and pick up the Winter Village stuff, which I'll be looking for myself tomorrow in the live stream. So I'm not going to bore everybody with that right now. But yeah, we'll be covering all of that tomorrow. I'm just seeing exactly what is what and what people might be after. Because again, if people want the Enterprise, how heavy and how much are they going to be buying for this weekend? Because that's the horrible thing. They've got this Enterprise coming out when you're supposed to be saving money, as we always said. They're doing it. So you've got one expensive new thing to pick up. And then you've got all the stuff that they basically don't want in a Black Friday. Probably a lot of the stuff that's been discontinued. But this weekend, obviously, if you are an insider, which everybody can be, it's free and easy. You can just pick everything up. So I'll tell you what would be awkward being a sales assistant. Could you imagine somebody walking into the store thinking it's got 30% off and then going, are you an insider? And they're like, no. And they just kick up a fuss going, well, what do I have to be for this? You just know it will happen. I'm surprised it's not online only, to be fair. I'm surprised they have to put the staff through all of that pain, because you know full well what people are like, and the amount of people that go, you hear them, don't you, go to the till, are you a insider or VIP? No, not interested. People just don't know what it is. They are literally giving you points away for free. Clips. Windowsill for flowers. I'm assuming know what this is going to be. Yes, 2 of. Going for a nice little blue colour on this one. There you go. Oh, he says, this one falls flying. Lots and lots and lots of detail. Yeah, beautiful looking thing. Oh, votes are changing. So we've got the Black Pearl is at 25% and the Death Star is at 75%, because it's what sets the best value to you. Obviously the minifigures hold, the sets hold. You know, if you were to sell figures and all of that kind of stuff, it'd be very, very, very interesting to see, because the Black Pearl won the last vote and the Death Star was joint second, I do believe. I've got it all written down. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see how this poll goes over the next bit. Mr. Lego King, how are we? Black Pearl for Lego King. So Lego King thinks that the Black Pearl for him has the best value because of the minifigures, the size, the bricks, whatever it might be. It's whatever it makes it the best thing for you. So I am intrigued to see, because I think there's going to be a different winner on this round. I think it's going to be a different one. Very, very interesting to see what people's take is on different bits and pieces. Because don't forget, the Game Boy in round 1 was joint second. So in the first round, we had the Black Pearl won it, Death Star came joint second with the Game Boy, and the Goonies did not get a single vote. So I can see that happening on. It's weird, really, because every single person really likes the Goonies. Everybody's talking about it, but doesn't seem to do well in any of the polls whatsoever. So, with regards to what you think, obviously, the Black Pearl and the Death Star be very, very tight with regards to brick count, money you get back if you were to sell the minifigures. Like I said at the start of the live stream, if you are a Bricklink Lego store, which one would you prefer to buy to part out? Which one would you make more money from? Yada, yada, yada. So I think it's just going to be, it might be just a two-horse race. But then the Game Boy is good value for what it is. It's a good size. You're not paying too much. Are you looking for something slightly cheaper? They have done some fancy bits and pieces. So in every single Ninjago set, you get different builds. You get to do different, I say different builds. I don't mean the buildings are different. I mean working things or just something that's completely different. And on this one, you've put 3 pieces on the inside of it. Can you see I've just put those white bits in like a Tic Tac case? And you are making the outer walls, which is going to be the entrance in to the thing. So I can't turn it over too much because the pool table's in now with the actual little balls and everything. We're at 50-50 already. That didn't take long. So the last couple of people that have come in, they are voting for the Black Pearl. So is this going to be a winner? Are we going to have, is the Black Pearl going to come in first and first? I'm not, to be fair, with the type of categories that we've got. It could come first or second every single one. John, how are we? No, fair enough. So John says, I'm sorry, value and $1,000 price tag doesn't go together, even though it's the cheapest price to part ratio. So that's the thing. That is the thing. If you are, I was saying this, if you were a Bricklink store, you would buy that first because you would make the most profit selling the set as an individual pieces. And then obviously you've got the minifigures on top, but it's what you think, what it's going to be, and it's to you personally. And because we've got a lot of people from the Bricklink stores as well, they might go for one thing. We've had a couple of people in say that the Death Star minifigures sell for a lot of money. The Black Pearl minifigures sell for a load of money as well. But it's definitely going to be a 2-horse race, that's for sure. So, and also it comes down to, do you think there's value in sizing? Do you think it's better to get smaller? We'll see. We'll see. It's all about. That's why we've got 4 rounds of 4 Lego sets going against each other 4 times, and the winner goes into the final. We are building bag number 46, I think. Bag 46. We're on step 1053, and we're building the pool table. How are we, Dustal Dawn? Full of quotes coming through. So if you can think of a quote for this scene, because I can't remember if they actually played pull or not, to be honest. Not 100% sure if they did. Not 100% sure. So remember, with this software, I cannot share your comments on the screen. And if I spot them, I will obviously say them out loud. But this is like a double, it's weird, like a double tic-tac. Very weird. Is actually a specific way that they're supposed to go in. Okay. That makes sense. So you've got a double entry of these. Yeah, the pool table. Yeah, that's it. That's what we are doing at the moment. I do like the differences that they do with these sort of things, because we had an orange version of that, and then we had the cash machine in one of them, and we had something else in one of them, and everything else. So, yep, as it stands at the moment, it is a 50-50 split for different reasons. This one might be where the Game Boy might not do as well as what it did in the last one. But yeah, Dusk Till Dawn, full of all of the different Ninjago quotes. And this is, we are on some beautiful colours on this as well. And at the very, very start of the live stream, so if you're watching the very, very start of it, Lego now are involved with F1 as an actual race team. So it's the new Lego F1 Academy car that is online already. The Academy series, which used to be W series. So I'm guessing they've now changed it to Academy series, I guess. Going by their description, it's the W series, which was the female drivers, but they've now changed it to Academy. So I'm assuming it's going to be boys and girls eventually, but their description is a little bit off. With regards to what it is, they are going to be advertising and doing next year. So for a lot of collectors, that Lego car might be good for people for F1. And if you're not a fan of it whatsoever, so they're in Las Vegas at the moment, aren't they? So yeah, very, very interesting. Very, very interesting to see. We are absolutely, I say, nowhere near the top of that. 1, 2, 2. That's just annoying. That is just annoying. John says people need to stop using piece counters and matrix, just another way to trick people into thinking they're going to. Yeah, but if you think so, John, if you speak to the people that have a Bricklink store, it's what they need, isn't it? Because they obviously sell the pieces on for more money, so it's their way of getting stuff, their way of sort of making extra money with that, especially with certain elements. That's what it comes down to. It's like what elements are used. What elements are used in the different sets? Like this, for example, loads and loads of small things for detailing, but that Death Star didn't have any small bits and pieces in, really. They're all big. It's not like they were purposely trying to get the piece count up, but the values in the figures, the values in different bits, like the AT-AT's weird and wonderful things that it's got. We all know that they said that cost an absolute fortune. So yeah, it's just open for discussion, but clearly at the moment it's a 50-50. So everybody's going to agree and disagree on anybody, and I'm just sat here making a mess of everything as normal, saying what is what. Because I have seen the Death Star I've seen at half price without minifigures. I didn't personally think there was that much value in minifigures. That's the thing. I didn't think it was that much in there at all. But yeah, you've all got your own ways of doing stuff. And obviously, we don't own shops, do we? So we would look at it from a build perspective, because that's the next round. It's what is the best sort of, what would be the most enjoyable build, or that kind of, I'll figure out how I'm going to word that. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting couple of weeks with regards to different bits and pieces. Like I said, everybody's got their own take on it. Everybody's got their own take on it. So I'd like to know actually what the Bricklink, the Bricklink people resell certain pieces on for, because they just tend to go wild on quite a lot of the sets. But yeah, it's going to be a. There we go. Finally, no, still not right. No, that'll be one. One more. Now we're okay. That's the last layer. There we go. It's on. But no, this purple is like a Cadbury's purple, which is rather nice. And we have finally locked that bit in. So that is not going to fall off again, which is good. I think what surprised me the most out of the poll in the first 4 rounds is how well Arkham did after it being not doing too well in previous bits. That sort of came out of the woodwork and did different bits and pieces. And don't forget, with value, what you've also got to think of what will have the I also don't go by Bricklink resellers. Yeah, well, no, the things of the Bricklink is the bits where you got to buy the pieces for, isn't it? So if you go, it's not just the Bricklink designer program. So if you go onto the Bricklink, there's Bricklink sellers where they part out the pieces. So if you need to go, like for example, if I drop this and lose 4 pieces, there might be a lot of value in this for me to actually then have to buy. So like these pieces might be £6 each. So that's how they part the sets out. That's how they would do it. I don't mean the actual Bricklink as the big sets, because some of the individual part prices on there, you've got no choice but to pay. So is it the original, like one of the original modulars is the Greengrocer, and they used a certain color that they didn't make many of. So it's a fortune to remake that set because of how expensive those pieces are. Like some of them are £1, £2, £3 per brick when it should only be 10, 12p. So again, from their business perspective, is one way that you could look at this poll. The other way you could look at this poll is very much a case of, would you sell it after it retired, and which one's going to go up the quickest in value, and blah, 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 blah. So that's why it's going to be interesting what's going to happen. But the black poll now is winning. So the Death Star took an early lead, but it does look like, if I can click it, come on. So we are now back up to the black poll at 57%. So it's going to be close. Well, that's what they do, isn't it? So they buy this, break it, and then sell the parts individually because they know the price of each bit as on the resale market. That's what everybody's store is. So there's tens of thousands of sellers around the world, isn't there? And that's how they do. So because you can't get these pieces from PAB, and a lot of the pieces like this you can't just get from the Lego website, especially when it gets discontinued. So that's where it gets a little bit tricky, because you've got no choice but to pay the prices in Germany from the UK or wherever it'll be like that. Obviously, some people sell the sticker sheets on separately, sugar bricks, and then the sticker sheets become good value as well. So lots and lots of people, which I would never think of, but yeah, lots and lots of people buy the sets to individually put into separate drawers to then sell on. They do it with the heads, they do it with the torsos, they do it with everything. So yeah, everybody's got their own way of looking into different bits. But there's definitely a lot of money in secondhand stuff, and there's definitely a lot of money, if you wanted to, selling the bits. Like if you had the pieces from the Lego City, because that's the other thing, like sets that are long retired, rather than people spending full volume on those sorts of sets, they will obviously try and part them out over a long period of time. And that is actually the cheaper way of doing some of the older modulars. It's a good way of doing it because you're not paying through the nose. But at the same time, that's why the sellers will buy these sets to break them up. No, that's it. That's what the polls are like. You, like I said, it's everybody's. We've got sellers on here. We've got store owners that are part of this, so they would be looking at it a completely different perspective. So yeah, what you're saying makes sense, but to somebody else, it's absolute toss. It makes no sense whatsoever because they're making money from it. Me, I don't care. I can't vote, so it doesn't bother me at all. I can't vote, so I am just sat here, being the referee, and seeing exactly what is exactly what's going on. But it's always a fun one because you see, like when you go into the like all of the like the versions of Comic-Con and all that kind of thing, where you've got like the Lego Con and all that, and you've got the sellers there where they've got all the boxes and the shrink wrap where they've just kept it mint. You kind of look at it and go, God, like the Ghostbuster Firehouse is like $1,000, but you could rebuild it for $8, but it only cost $4 when it originally came out. And it's just, there's money to be made if you have the pieces in your catalog, because I've seen a lot of people that do look, because they're very, very clever with regards to the parts on the back, and they will just build something completely different out of this because they need the parts. I haven't got that. I haven't got that skill. It does not bother me whatsoever. So yeah, it's going to be a rather interesting poll. And of course, since everybody was here last, what do we think of the name for the new modular? Because I've heard a couple of different things name-wise, but is it a street, like Shop Street or something? I'm sure Trigger Bricks has already heard it. Fair enough. Distal Dawn, I will have a look at that after. I can't share people's things on the screen on this one, so yep, I can have a look. See, Trigger Bricks just picked up set 70603, absolute steel, new and sealed. Ooh, that's it. The shopping street, yeah. What? Because everybody was saying, obviously, in the chat that they think it's going to be like a music store and other little bits and pieces. But is this going to be the first ever 2 base plate modular? If it's a 2 base plate modular, are they going to do? Don't kill me for this, but are they going to do the 16 by 32s, and there's 4 of them, so you can mix and match? Or are they going to go for 2 big 32 by 32s, and it's going to be like ground level, top level? Or are they going to go for a base plate and a half? I didn't think they would do another base plate and a half, but if it's going to be called a shopping street, it's got to be bigger than a 32 by 32 base plate. So let's have a quick look at what Trigger Bricks has got. 70603. 706. Can't even remember 5 digits. 03. Oh. Another old retired Ninjago set. What's this from? From the Masters of Spinjitzu. See, again, like, if you can get them off eBay in good condition, because I think they're worth quite a little bit. They're worth quite a bit of money. That is looking... Oh, I'm not even sharing the screen, am I? That's embarrassing. Try that again. Let's try that again. So this is the set that Trigger Bricks is going on about. Oh, and not actually share the screen. So yeah, if you can pick some of these up, because some of them, for whatever reason, aren't worth much, still sealed. So kind of the same thing as some of the modulars, actually, because some of them, like especially used, you can pick them up pretty much 20-30 pounds more than what they were new a long time ago. But then some of the older Winter Village things, they're like 2-3 times the amount of money, and it's just like, oh, it's just a lot. It's just a lot of money. Oh, is that going there? That goes there, and then we've got a long length that goes there. And are we all making our shopping lists for midnight tomorrow? Are you spending a penny at all, or are you just going to wash your hands with it all? Don't forget, I'm assuming everything's on double points across the website as well. I will be going live, but just a lot later. So I'm thinking of seeing midnight in tomorrow and actually seeing the whole list and what it's all about. So yeah, just going later live. So I'll kick off like 11 p.m. UK time and just see what's happening. But obviously, what is on the UK website as an offer isn't going to be the same as the American, as we've kind of guessed that was a thing. But I think the Black Pearl, finally, for the first time since it's come out, is not on back order. Or is still on back order, one or the other, because they were catching up with date. So I wonder if that's going to go straight back on back order when double points come back out. Because that's got to be tough, hasn't it? Can you imagine if you got the Black Pearl ages ago and it wasn't on double points, and then all of a sudden your set still hasn't arrived, and then it goes on double points, and you're just thinking to yourself, "Oh, do I cancel the order and just reorder it?" Or so I'm sure that should be allowed. You should just say, "Well, it's taken so long for it to arrive that it's gone through the next double point cycle, so I want double points with it." But I don't know what their customer service would have to say about that, to be fair. But yeah, is this new modular going to be 1, 1.5, 2? What do we think it's going to be? Oh, I'll be making at least 2 separate orders tomorrow night. So, what's on your list? And of course, you get all those giveaways and things if you're into that kind of stuff with different price points and things. So, I suppose that's one of the things that maybe the second price point is so high because it stops people doing 2 separate orders to get both of them twice, if that makes sense. So it's going to be an interesting thing, because if you were to get the Christmas train and the Christmas tree separately, you would still just get the hot chocolate stand twice. You wouldn't be eligible for, I think you're just under the eligibility for the other one. So that's why they probably got that at such a high price point. But no, I'm tempted by the train. That's what I am tempted by at the moment. I've got all the others, so I am tempted by that. It's not the greatest of looking things. I don't really need the track either, but it's Christmassy enough. And this is getting bigger and bigger. Nice. How much are they, John? What's the difference between them, and how does it work with those as well? Is it like a yearly thing that they do, or are they just like? I've seen them, obviously. I know exactly what company that you're talking about, but I don't know their release schedule, because I'm assuming that all of the stuff that they do is just like a modular based thing. Oh, nice. The city markets you're definitely going to be getting, because yeah, that makes sense. So you could then also make the Lion Knights Castle a separate order, or a couple of gunships. So would you, obviously with the gunships, what would you do? Would you just do like a big display with them or something, or because I've seen people change the color scheme of that one with very few parts needed, if I'm right, and yeah, it makes a bit of a difference. A lot of detail going on. What's going on with the poll? I thought so. I have seen them keep going out, but I wasn't too sure if they're all classed underneath the modular, under the modular stuff. Oh, yeah, everybody's got their own. Each company's got their own sort of different business model, and it will yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that all chops and changes up about next year with different companies doing different things, which will be good. This is actually coming together relatively quick, which is quite a surprise. Taking up most of the table space, though. Yeah, that's it. There's loads of different stuff you could get from it. I suppose it's like modular versions of just the city scale, but they're bigger in the modular. Whereas obviously, what we call modular, well, I say what we call modulars, but what the Lego Group calls modulars is obviously just a once a year job. So yeah, so different price points, different entry point, different sort of clientele market, I guess. 71817. I picked up the mech. Very, very nice. Let's flop that open. So when did you pick these up then? You just coming in the order. So you've gone for a couple of the retired things. What are you doing? You build the mechs up? Or are you just going for some of the figs? I recognise those characters. That's from the Rising Dragon. So God, they weren't around long, were they? Oh, this is the mix and match, isn't it? Yeah. So you can do that with them if you wanted to, for whatever reason. But you can mix and match all three of them up, which is a nice looking thing. Have a look. So this is what John is thinking of getting. So that can go away. You're looking at different bits and pieces for different things. Some of these do look very smart indeed. I have been looking at some of the Christmas stuff, but yeah, no, it's nice looking things. Floating train station. But I mean, it's a full city, but you are much more on than the Lego City stuff, aren't you? So it's sort of I'm trying to think what that. I guess it's like an adult collector's more detailed Lego City sets. 60% off is not bad at all, and obviously they've got little point system. Because what's that? It's £141 shipped to USA, obviously $185 US. That's 2,309 pieces for 140 quid. So, but you can only ship to USA and Canada. So you can't ship to Europe, UK, global. I wonder if that's going to be a case for all of the sets. No, that's 166. That's 3120. These are on Amazon, but sometimes you've got to get it through Amazon. You can't actually order it through the company itself. Obviously, you want to build a cyberpunk, you can do, because they've got everything that's in there for it. But it is odd, isn't it? Because like $53 for the car or £41, and again, it's only available to the US, but that's 372 pieces. So obviously they get stung with a license as well. So because that's just a speed champion size, so that's literally double the price. Yeah, 327 pieces. That's literally double the price for that. So some of the stuff is a lot more expensive, but obviously got light kits and everything else with it. But it depends if you want to be paying for that kind of stuff. The one interesting thing that I did see, and this will be an interesting poll up, is if you had the opportunity, would you happily buy a modular that was internally gutless? So there was nothing in it. So you just built the shell. So you bought a shell of a building to save on money. Because how many people, like the Harry Potter stuff, for example, I've got the obviously you can see that big set. I mean, it's on the move and everything else. But the amount of people that hide the back of them because they don't want to actually see in it. It's like, well, you built all the detail. If you don't want it, surely, like some of the modulars, like the older modulars, they're not very detailed on the inside. And obviously, it's a lot of detail on the outside. But would you want less pieces, less detail on the inside, and it's less money? Or do you want all the detail on the inside? Do you take it apart? Do you take photos with it? Are you not fussed by it at all? I can't remember who brought that up. I thought that was actually a really, really good point. Like, how many people would quite happily buy a shell of a building to display? Because I wonder if it was a chap. I wonder if he'd seen a company that do it and was asking the question, or was just asking the question because he wanted to know if a company would do it. And of course, it'd be very, very interesting to see what Mattel are going to be doing next year with their brick store as well. Yeah, yes, it. Yeah, you could get all of those different bits and pieces. There's some nice stuff on. There's some nice stuff on that website. That's it. If you wanted a completely different collection, you've got all sorts of different bits. But obviously, some of them look like they're quite hard to get over to the UK. Yeah, a lot of these. I'm clicking on a lot of them. They are shipped to the UK, and global has been crossed off. So I'm just looking at some others in the background. So I think, well, we all know what the reasoning is for that. So they'll just have to see where they're shipping from. But it does say ship worldwide, usually in 48 hours. So I can't imagine, unless they've sold out to and they've got them all at Amazon at the moment. No, that one, the Western. Let's see what we can find. Hang on. Let's have a look. See. Let's have a quick look. Let's have a look. Like, that's not global, UK, not available. That's the third one I clicked on from a different thing. Randomly click the train. See, Europe, Canada. So it's only. So it seems to be that I'm assuming that this is an American company, or they're getting them imported into America, and then they're just not. And they're just using Amazon maybe to ship them out. So I have seen them on the UK Amazon, but we get this quite a lot with different things. So new arrivals. No, see, for a brand new arrival, it's not available for the UK either. So that's interesting. So yeah, just ship to UK for the castle. So it's just shipped to USA. So no. So if I wanted these from that actual company, I would have to go to Amazon and then just wait for a deal. Well, that's it. But I mean, it's the same with these as well, isn't it? Like, if they didn't have an internal, would you just be happy not having an internal thing? But I'm afraid for UK customers of those, you are stuffed. And Mattel is a fortune unless you get it off Amazon as well, because you wanted anything He-Man, Barbie, any of those new cars that are coming out. Again, American. It's an American company. Very, very, very expensive to get them over here. So maybe that's why people just aren't. They're not being offered. Because I genuinely thought Mattel were going to be making quite a lot of their own stuff, but they've gone down the Hot Wheels route. So I wonder if that's why they got rid of the Pokemon license. They've kept the Barbie license. They've still got Halo, but they've lost something else. I thought they were going to go into like more world building, but they are literally just sticking at cars. So it'll be interesting to see what comes from them next year, because they had a huge huge countdown to their brick shop opening. So I thought, oh, well, maybe it's just going to be loads and loads of pieces, basically like a huge online pab store, which could have been handy and helpful for a lot of people, because actually, but that wasn't the case either. Yeah, that's it. So the big Mattel brick shop, they're beautiful cars. That's it. They actually, Mattel's been at Smiths and there for ages and ages, and over in the UK they just didn't push it, and now all of a sudden they did the countdown to this big thing, and obviously they're massive for vehicles. So Mattel brick shop, so it's on under the Mattel Creations banner, which is this banner just here, but they seem just cars rather than everything else. But they've got the bigger size and then the Speed Champion stuff. But like all the box artwork and everything is just under the Hot Wheels type thing. So you can see that you've got the big and the smaller ones around it. It does look nice. But that's why I think I said this before. That's why Lego got with F1, because I don't know how easy it's going to be for Lego to make loads and loads of Speed Champions cars now. If you notice, this year they've gone into, sold out on their website. Look, they've gone into movie stuff. They haven't actually done a line yet of just these cars. So I wonder if Mattel now has basically gone, we're going to have all the building rights to our branded own vehicles, because they've got all the licensing with Hot Wheels, and Lego's had to change the model accordingly. So it's all fun and games. But yeah, Triple Brick says the NSX is on offer, which is the one that's sold out there, and obviously the big Merc, which is in the one in the top right hand corner, the big blue one. Internal box artwork on that looks very, very good as well. I think the instruction booklets are very smart. I have got the He-Man Castle from Mattel, and their instruction booklets are very, very clear. For me, with the He-Man Castle, the pieces had a lot of white bits in, as in like in the plastic, if you tried to pull them back off again. So you just had to be careful separating them. And when they were down, they were in, like they didn't want to come back out. But no, lots and lots of offers for lots and lots of different people. And it looks like, well, that's interesting. Death Star's at 50, Black Pearl's at 40, and the Game Boy has taken a 10%. Could you imagine, after all the talk at the start of the live, the Game Boy catches up with the Black Pearl? That'd be quite funny, actually. Because the Game Boy was a sleeping horse in the last one. And if Shibo was about, I think Shibo would go for the Game Boy as well. So that'd be another vote for that. But at the moment, Death Star has taken the lead again. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they produce next year, because Mattel lost Pokemon. So Lego are doing Pokemon in January. That's when their thing's over and done with. They have the legal license to that until January 1st, I'm assuming. And then obviously Lego can't advertise anything now until it's out, finished. So on January the 1st, they're just going to be bombarding everything for Pokemon, unless like the Stranger Things comes out in the 3rd or the 2nd or the whatever, then they might wait a day or two. But yeah, so it's going to be very, very heavy for that. It looks like they're going to be big models. But the problem is at the moment they are on sale at Smiths, so you can pick. Let's have a look. Actually, are they still available or have they gone? Because if you are just wanting basically your whatever construction set that you like, let's have a look. Yeah, they have got. Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting to how quickly they bring out the stuff that is already available. This is out. I can buy this right now. And they don't look bad either. They do not look bad. I've seen them in store. It's 30 centimeters, 600 pieces. and obviously this is what we've just been looking at. Mega is Mattel. They had all the other licenses that Lego didn't have. And yeah, there's a lot of. I wonder if you type in Mega then. As you can see, they've got all of the building blocks. They've got all of these bits and pieces in here. They've got another Pikachu up top. They've got a lot of stuff. So they've got the Pokeballs you can build. And then, yeah, these are the models that they're going up against. So these are just the smaller ones, but they've also got the massive ones as well. But they did do an Ash and Pikachu. But that's disappeared. So where can you get that from? Is it still on Mattel Creations? Is it? So it is. Well, it's still on there. So it's coming. The Lego Group's got the license, but it is at the moment, as you can see, on ear. And that was their last. And then they didn't make anything else. And that is a huge. And if you look at the difference in the articulation of this compared to, for example, like the Galactus that's with the Fantastic Four set, or like the Batman and all that kind of thing, this is the standard that they've got to try and go by, because you can see you've got the different, it's all prints. There's no stickers. Good price point as well. Big size. Big stand, blah, 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 blah. So it's 12.9 inches tall. But yeah, 1,576 pieces. But it's that's the last one that they did. Take me to the next thing. So you save 28% as well if you were to buy it right now. So if you bought this, I can't imagine the Lego Group being able to do anything better than this, and it was going to be a lot more money as well, I would think. But this is all the other stuff that they've done. So I've seen this. I've seen this built. It's all mechanical. It all works. So there's lots and lots and lots of them. You can see how they did the 3D sort of artwork stuff before the Super Mario one that came out as well. They've had them out for ages and ages. But this is just the last of the stuff that they've got. That's it. So, but there you go. Look, this product can not be shipped to your country. Mattel not ship to the UK either. So all these American companies they don't ship over here. Well, no, Mattel was selling loads of units. They just lost the license. That's all it is. The Pokemon construction stuff. Jay can verify this for me. Mattel Creations Pokemon stuff has been at Smith's for at least the last 5 years, at least, because you've had full diorama sets of the stadiums, the training places. They all clip together. I could have made a huge diorama with it all, but they all sold out. You just could not get them. So it looks like they're going down their own road with the Mattel Creation. So, and Jay's on a toilet break. Well, hello to you, Jay. Hello. And we're back at 50-50, are we? Nope, 50-40-10. There we go. So the Game Boy's got 10, Black Pearl at 40, Death Star at 50, for whatever reason it is for you, from a minifigure perspective, size perspective, resale value, blah, 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 blah. And yeah, make up your own mind. But no, Mega, I'm actually really surprised that because Mega have not got the Pokemon anymore, but they still have Barbie, they still got Halo and yada, yada, yada. I thought that they were going to do more just standard city stuff, but they haven't. They've gone down the Hot Wheels road instead. But that's why I'm very intrigued to see what happens with them in January. So I've not heard any Mattel news at all with regards to that stuff. That's annoying. That'll be found at a later date. Well, that's it. But the thing is, that's the problem with Mega. Mega's been around. I mean, Mega has Tesla license and it's in all your Toys R Us's because I've been over there in Canada. I've seen it. Huge amount of stuff on the shop wall. Yeah, because they've got the Cybertruck, so they've got a license with Tesla to do all that kind of thing, and yeah, making loads of money, I would imagine. But whatever reason, they've just the license has come up for, I guess, renewal, and they didn't do it. Mattel Creations still ships to the UK, but not items that were on the US website prior to the launch of Mattel Creations UK website. Any products on US citizenship only? Oh yeah, because WWE. Yeah, they didn't update it, did they? But then, in all fairness, because more than likely a lot of the stuff before the Mattel Creation was alive, they probably knew that all of that was just going to be bombed anyway. And as we know, it's in Smith's. It's over there in Toys R Us as well. But yeah, it's going to be interesting experience shipping bits and pieces out and in and around and all that kind of stuff, because obviously Mattel, their factory isn't in America. So you're going to end up getting charged even more to ship your own products in to the States, which is just a very weird and wonderful scenario. So hopefully it will pass quickly and then it will get back down to normal pricing, because some of the Mattel stuff, like the He-Man, very expensive unless it went into an Amazon sale, and then all of a sudden that was very good value. Shibo. Yeah, that's it. But the thing is that the stores in America are massive, because I've been into plenty of them, and especially the Toys R Us stuff. It's on its own wall. Mattel. Well, Mattel themselves are the biggest toy, one of the biggest toy companies in the world. So they do, I think, Monopoly down to every card game to everything. So they do every variation of toys. But they have done. God, how did it go? They had Mattel Creations, and then they bought out Creo, which had all the Transformers licenses, and they had all the other little bits and pieces, and they had the G.I. Joe in construction form with their own size bits. Creo, again, was an American company, I do believe. And then, yes, the sort of company bought out another company, You can find all the stuff on eBay. It's all very cheap on there. So again, there's always been alternatives to the Lego Group forever. But it just seems to be more and more spoken about now because of social media and people with a larger account following, basically getting sets for free, should I say? And it works because it means everybody else can see them, and if they like them, and they get them. So it's a good marketing. It's a good marketing ploy. Which is always good. Ah, there we go. I knew it was one or the other, wasn't it? One or the other. They do board games as well. They do all your Barbies and stuff. That's what you're here for, Jay. You're here for that kind of nonsense. I'm just here for the construction side of stuff. And we're still thinking, is this new module going to be a base plate and a half? Because Triple Bricks, it says it might be. It's got to be bigger than a base plate. So if you guys and girls... Toys R Us went here ages ago. The last one I went into was actually in Canada, which I was quite surprised about. So it died over here long time ago, and it is trying to revive itself, because that was a very good place to be able to get lots of stuff under one roof. But I do believe it is still about in Canada, because it was when I went there last. So unless it's disintegrated and disappeared. Well, that's it. But I mean, I guess, again, that just comes down to what competition they've got. So that's bearing in mind it was originally being shipped over from Denmark. If you've got companies, if you've got no internal, because I don't know if you actually have a American company on American soil that produces the stuff, because obviously we don't over here, because we get our stuff shipped in from Poland is our pab. I know Jay and Tricklebricks will probably know as well. They would have had sets sent to them. I've had stuff from Poland, and all of the stuff obviously gets flown straight over from Billund because that's where the main factory is. I think your stuff will be coming in from. God, I don't know where your closest factory is at the moment. But then I also don't know what other stuff gets produced anywhere. So we don't have any factory over here that produces any form of construction brick set at all. And I don't think you do over there either, even though you've got some big companies. None of them are on home turf either. Obviously, there was a huge thing with the Chinese companies, wasn't there? Where they were, well, it's a bit of a slap on the wrist with what they were doing. I thought Shiba, you might get yours in from Mexico. I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember if it was there. I think well, it's got to be, isn't it? And yours is Belgium, and you've seen some from Belgium. Well, it's because they've obviously got factories all over Europe, haven't they? But I had stuff come in from Billund because obviously that's their main place. So if you walk around Billund, it's literally all to do with Lego. It's literally a hour and a bit flight from over here, and that's it. So it's just one of them. It's hour and a half from Stansted. You land, you can walk from the airport, and literally you've got everything from Lego security. I mean, like the Lego campus, everything. It's massive. That's it. The 10-year project for your thing in Virginia, isn't it? It's going to be like a high top end spec. But yeah, with regards to, because like Jay said, Mattel's QC has gone downhill since they moved to the Vietnam factory last year. So they moved out of America, I do believe, I think Mattel was over there. But yeah, Mattel and Hasbro are both technically American-based companies, but they've opened up factories. They've opened up factories elsewhere. So yeah, it's a very interesting time at the moment with what's coming where, with the cost of shipping containers and just a mix of everything, because it's rough. But yeah, because that way you won't, because your stuff's obviously coming in from Mexico. That's probably why you're getting your Lego City stuff in late, because you got the train late this year. You got the construction stuff in late. Like yours was like 6 weeks behind. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how well the shelves are stocked, and just what is going to be happening with priorities of different bits, different people for different things. And obviously with Jay having to collect all sorts of different bits and pieces, he's got to keep his finger on the pulse of what comes where. But I mean, the best place for us to go for bricks is Germany. If you just flew over to Legoland Germany, you can get any piece you want, no problem whatsoever. You can pick them up for fun if you wanted to, because there's a lot. You've got basically a full-size pad wall in a huge warehouse that you can just walk in. It goes by weight as well. That's the scary thing. So you can just 1,000 tiles, please. Those are these. Put them on the scale, and then you just pay whatever it is per brick, and then you're away and good to go. So living the dream with all of that. Well, that's it. Well, it was a policy that they came out with. It's all in the Lego house. It's what they're trying to do and achieve. Because you had weird and wonderful people protesting against the Lego group because it's oil, and they're like, it's not fair. They shouldn't be doing it. Yada yada yada. So they promised a greener everything. That's where I said before, the tree house behind me, that was the first type of recyclable plastic that they use for the leaves, and now they're going to be doing that. So because for most of the time, like, I don't know, like the live last time, it was 2 hours of me and you talking, Jay. That'd be the reason why. Yeah, it'd be nice if they did, because there's in Billund, where you go into the Lego house itself, they have a huge pad wall where you can just obviously get the bricks and do all those little bits and pieces. So again, that's why this is quite an interesting poll, because if you don't have access to pieces easy enough, that's where all the sort of the retail shops and everything make their money. I have literally got a handful of pages left, though. I am on step 1083. So yeah, just slow and steady, sir. And the lives aren't as long as what they were with the Death Star. And I guess this is a question to you. We know what Trickle Bricks is going to be doing. Again, everybody else let us know. But are you getting anything tomorrow, Jay? Is there anything on your wish list? Because Trickle Bricks says he might be making 2 separate orders. Are you going in on anything? So I am still thinking of going live at 11 and then seeing it in just past midnight and then crying myself to sleep that I ended up didn't get anything. Oh, they are going to do it. Oh, fair enough. Well, that'd be an amazing experience. If they're going to have like a big shop and everything there, it should be huge. It should be huge. Because you can get over in Billund, you can actually pay for a tour. So you can actually see how the bricks and everything are produced, and they give you like limited edition stuff. They only do a tour like 3 times a year, but the tour includes the theme park, the Lego house, and the brick factory. So it's like 3 nights in their Lego hotel plus 3 days on the ground as well. So, and they do that. They have the history vault they've got a box of every single set ever made, so you can go all the way back to the beginning and just see what it's all about. Batman Return and Mortal Kombat. That's going to be a big, expensive wave. You don't time it well, Jay, for stuff that you need to have upfront cash for. And it always seems to be, this happens every year, that when it gets close to the Black Friday or Cyber Monday or the Insiders or any time there's a huge sale on where you can actually get probably quite a lot of stuff, you then get billed by a company. And you're like, oh, well, that's that then. But this is a man that has just started another collection of horror stuff, which, to be honest, does look rather sweet. There. And I'm assuming a lot of you then are going to be saving yourself for the Enterprise, or has that sort of calmed down now for people, and people are thinking, oh, actually, I'm going to wait. Yeah. I mean, you can, because that's the thing with our pab stuff. It's easy available. That's why, with regards to the value of stuff, I was saying at the start, like, you have to pay the extra price per brick from people. Like, if I sold this individually, I'd make more money than what I bought it for. And that's obviously what they have at the cut. But hopefully you can get yourself loads of tiles. You can get loads of masonry bricks. And you can, as long as you spend a lot of time putting them in the boxes and stuff, you should be good to go. But the Legoland parks, the better places to go to. If you ever go to New York, they have a huge area just for pieces. And then they've got a Lego store as well. So the Legoland parks are one of the better places to get pieces from. However, the Legoland parks charge you by weight, whereas the Lego stores, they charge you by size of your cup. Right, this is going all over the place. So the Death Star now is, this is getting very, very fruity. So the Death Star is at 50, the Black Pearl's down to 33, and the Game Boy is up to 17. Now, don't forget, the Game Boy was joint second last time as well. And I think the Game Boy might come in very, very strong in a separate round. So potentially the Game Boy overall might actually win. I think the Goonies is now out for the running, unless it comes out in the next round, which it's yet to have a vote. So it's not done very well, the Goonies, compared to the other three. So yeah, that's going to be a very, very interesting thing. Aaron, how are we, Ninjago Aaron? Hi, I'm back again. Thanks for helping me. So well, not a problem. Not a problem. Not a problem. Hopefully you're good. Not a problem at all. So Jay still says he's on the Enterprise, and Ripley was a purchase last night, along with Alien Predator in the video. Well, I'm assuming they were on some sort of sale, Jay, yeah? Because that could have gone wrong. Everybody that's liked the video and taken part in the poll, thank you very much indeed. Again, YouTube likes that kind of stuff and everything else like that. So, yeah, it's all good fun with that. I can hear Smudge doing something. He's causing mischief, I think. There might be a big crash in a minute. Might be a big crash. No, it's wait or so. Have you ever gone? You've obviously seen how the pub stuff works, so John. So you've got. It used to be this. You used to pay small, medium, and large. And if you brought this back, you save 75p. But you can see I've just got the same thing on the inside, which is just a full one of them. So there's probably in this cup probably 2,000 to 3,000 individual pieces. Now they come in a box, and those boxes, small, medium, and large. It's one of these. Very much. Hello. What are you doing? What are you doing? Come on. Come over here. It's one of them, and I'm assuming that's what you're going to have over with you now, because that's what they're doing in the Legoland parks as well. So whereas you would pay for a box, you fill it with stuff. At the Legoland parks, it goes by weight, which is a little bit more expensive. Well, it's very true. So Jay actually stood there for an hour and 20 minutes and stacked the water tiles. You must have got so many in there, Jay, for that amount of money. So it worked out to be literally nothing per piece, which is good. But yeah, you've got to have the patience with it. And again, it's lucky dip. Hopefully it's a big wall, and then obviously you can just throw all sorts of different bits and pieces in there. But it does seem to be some of the smaller shops now, it's a little bit crummy with regards to the Pab Cup choice, which is a bit of a shame. Which is a little bit of a shame. But no, I would have thought that's how it's going to work. And if it's close enough to you, you'll be absolutely laughing. And then you don't have to worry about the Bricklink sellers and needing parts and stuff, because you can just get them from the wall, because that's how a lot of people do them. They would have filled it up with masonry bricks and everything else, and then they sell them for double the money. So it was a slog. It worked out very cheap, and yeah, you got tons of them in there. Tons and tons. Well, if you are going to be there for so long, but yeah, but that's the thing, because obviously, as people know the value of the different pieces, if you can go there and they've got a strong selection. Oh, by the way, I was watching some older videos on your channel, including the one at Jay's studio. I really liked it. I was just surprised your channel name was different. What, my channel name or Jay's? Yeah, my channel, it changed a couple of times, yeah. So my favorite one was Detached Brick. But in the search, it came up with semi-detached houses and tutorial guides of how to build a home from scratch. So couldn't really find me in the algorithm. And then we did a travel one, and then I didn't travel. So now I build everything wrong, so it's off by stud. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, in Europe, the bags are by weight, and it's probably from a Legoland park. That's what it'll be by. So, yeah, you just fill the bags, and you just get charged per X amount of pounds or kilos or whatever it would be. Yeah, that's what this is going to stay. This one's going to stay, because I was going to call it off by stud the second time round, but we went for like a travel thing, and because I was going to do all the Legoland parks, and that backfired very, very quickly. Still doing the Legoland parks, but it just didn't work with all the live streams and things like that. So, but no, I think the detached brick was a pretty solid name. But yeah, the algorithm, it did not like it at all. Oh, if you wanted a tutorial of how to make cement and everything else, that's what it came up with. That was a right pain in the backside. Oh. But yeah, you can buy them in bulk if you want to. But yeah, there's a lot of Lego store videos from all the different Legoland parks around the world, and you can see just how different it is. Like Malaysia, again, has a huge selection of stuff if you wanted to get anything from there. And obviously the pound to the Malaysian currency and the dollar to the Malaysian currency is obviously a lot stronger. You've obviously got to take that kind of thing into consideration, because if it all starts to plummet, then it works out to be a lot more expensive. So yeah, you've got to just be careful with. Got to be careful with everything. Yeah, so I think the one that you're talking about, John, where it's a giant warehouse of pallets of parts with like all of like metal framework and stuff, that is inside Legoland Germany. So you go around like a tour, and then as you exit the tour of actually how the brick's made, you just go into what looks like a warehouse. It's quite a big thing. It's not, I mean, it's not like overly huge, but it's got lots and lots of stuff in there. Like you can get all the roller coaster, like all the stuff that you can't get in a pab, on a pab wall, like the much bigger elements. So you can get like a load of base plates if you wanted to, or you could get like roller coaster track and stuff like that. That is still the only place that I have seen that does it. I have asked Jay a few times if he'd like to go, and he still won't get his passport sorted. So I've not been able to grab him up there. It is. BLT was a breakfast. Yeah, Jay thought it was quite funny. I thought it was quite funny, and then yeah, it just didn't really work. So no. And as I always get everything wrong, and it is always off by a stud. Now, well, we know what it's all about. Yeah, well, that's true. Trigger Brick says he works in construction, so you would have still found me, and you'd been sat here going, "Well, this isn't a tutorial of how to make a semi-detached house." So, yeah, honestly, it was just just did not come up with anything else associated with Lego at all. It was all about housing. I was like, I'm not building houses. So, yeah, it was funny. It was funny, but yeah, if you best place at the moment, the best place I've ever gone is Legoland Germany, and you can just fill up your suitcase. You can fill that up, live the dream, and yeah, be happy with that if you wanted to. It is a tad fresh in here this evening. I'm not moaning, but it is on the fresh side. Yeah, that's it. We haven't spoken about that yet, Jay. But I mean, if you wanted to share the link, you're more than welcome to. Yeah, there was a live stream that me and Jay were doing where I was planning stuff where the Death Star was a year or so ago. I actually retired from doing live streams after that for ages. I was like, I can't face the embarrassment. And I smashed 3 Ninjago sets, the boat, the big Barracuda Bay, about 10 individual architecture sets, and some other stuff. It was a lot. It was a lot. there we go. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because if he's from Germany, he'll be picking those pieces up from there. So just going because you can get a pass to go into the Lego store, and you can just use the Lego store as a shop. Because if you go any Legoland park around the world, you have got access. You basically pay for your ticket, and if you're back out within like 90 minutes, you get the refund back, and you can just use the store as a store. So if you wanted to go to the one in London and you were close to there, and you live close to there, you could just use that as your local Lego store, and you get a load of discount. So that's not too bad. Yes, thank you very much indeed. I'm not too sure what link he sent, but there was a cleanup one, and then there was the actual live stream as well. Very emotional. It was very emotional. I'm just going to click on and see what one he's actually sent you. Yes, I'm assuming we'll have to find the start. Oh, you put a stamp point on that, haven't you? Where is it? 1 hour and 59 minutes in is where 13,000 bricks got absolutely cream crackered. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah. And then the video after that is just a cleanup. So if you go through it, there's an actual video of the starts with the table smashed. You see all the pieces in great detail because that's just me going through the table with the live stream with Jay. And then if you actually wanted to see how the cleanup happened, and that's why all of this is basically it's all come back around because of that. But yeah, over in Germany, they have got the luxury, and I think actually the biggest Lego shows are it's Brick something, real long name, over in Billund, where they do huge shows and big mocks as well, because they have obviously got the Lego house they can get pieces from, but not that extreme of actual being able to get those bits, because you can't go into the factory to do it. So it's not as easy. There we go. Well, glad I could help you with that, Shibo. Yeah, just leave comments on it and just take the absolute mick if you want to of stuff, because I put loads of videos up there to help people over time and do stuff, and I'll do random comparison videos of this and they get searched at a much later date. It's just a bit of fun, isn't it? What isn't fun is that I have a white tile in front of me and I don't understand why, because I can't see anything that's white. Nope, not a single thing that's white. Yeah, so there's a lot of really good builders, YouTubers, and all that kind of stuff on there, with obviously picking different bits and pieces up. But if you've got the luxury of going into places and just getting those pieces so easily, it doesn't half help. I wouldn't even know where to start. So for me, I don't really care at all. I haven't got a clue where I would start with that. She's got quite a nice bit of arm print on that one. Look, all gold on the side. Very smart. But yes, thank you, Jay. I doubt people know because they don't scroll back that far. But yeah, there's the cleanup, and then there's the I think I did a top 5 disaster video, which includes that the floorboard snapping in half. So I had to pick all the Lego up, put all the tables on top of each other. So basically, this room is like a vortex. It's just I get to a certain point. You can see there's some changes behind me. You can see that there's those that are there, and things have moved, and all the tiling and stuff that's going on. And then what's going to happen is it'll all go wrong, and I have to take it all up and start again, which would suck absolute balls. But never mind. Right, we are on. I've done. You're not going to believe this. I've done 2 bags. Yeah, I think so. Oh yeah, I've got to, that I haven't got a clue. I will Google that. Anna doesn't ring a bell. I thought it was Sora, to be honest. But Sora's, yeah, it's Sora. Because in the other sets, it's called her elemental mech as well. So, yeah, because Sora named a dragon because all the elemental powers came from that. Ow! He did a time lapse video. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. I just wonder how much money he makes back from like the YouTube. It's huge following, huge following. Very true. She did, yeah. That is very, very true. I do like that. I do like that whole series actually, where they were having their sort of special elemental powers. It was a cool thing. Because she was having none of it, was she? She sorted out her mum and dad royally. Come on, where are you? 150, 49, 48. I'm on bag 47. Hello. Bag 47. Oh, but I've just done bag. What? Done bag 47. I went all the way backwards, didn't I, to see that white piece? Idiot. We're on bag number 48. So there's only 50 bags. I'm nearly done. Oh, we'll have this finished at the weekend. Oh, this is 48 and 49 that needs to be done. Ugh, screw that. Is there any sets that anybody would like to look at for the next sort of 20 minutes as I contemplate life of maybe opening up these two? Yeah, they must sort of have bits, you know, like groups of people together. Poll currently 50, 33, 17. The Game Boy is still glasping on to the Black Pearl, but it seems to be there's quite a fair few percentage of people do like the Death Star for value. Not a bad decision by those people. Just making some space for Pumpkin. She was trying to get into bed. I had blocked her bed off, so she was not very happy with that at all. So where are we? Bag 48, 49, 48 and 49. This is it. So once I've done these two, I've got one more bag left. 49 is only a tiny bag as well. So now that means the next live stream is going to be I haven't got a clue what I'm going to do then. If I get this done in the next 20 minutes, I've literally got one more bag to go. And then I've got to figure out what we're going to do after that. Because I don't know if I'm going to get anything tomorrow at all. So I looked into that big Christmas tree again. It's actually taller than what I thought it was. It's just over 2 base plates tall, but it's so much money. It's just pointless, I think. But I was thinking maybe the X-Men Mansion, because I need to put it at the front. Oh, I got the Fantastic Four Galactus, which is in a big sale at the moment, and did that instead, because that would work well. But I do have stuff to repair, so I've got plenty of stuff that I can actually do for the rest of the year. So, no, it's scary when people have like a huge amount of space and they just make it incredible. Like just it's almost made up numbers, isn't it? With just the amount of stuff and just how long that would actually take to do. It must be months and months and months of work. Just set up the camera, put it on a time lapse. Thanks very much. And then, before you know it, it's a credit to them. So after looking at all the sale stuff yesterday, sorry, the other day, I was thinking, oh, am I going to regret not getting the John Wick Hotel? Or that's the only one I'm actually missing. I thought I was missing a few, but I'm not. It's only the John Wick Hotel that I've not picked up. I have got 3 cats: Pumpkin, Rocky, and Smudge. And Pumpkin's a really fluffy one. Shiba's had one of. So you've just got the one Shibo. Pumpkin, come on, let me show you off. Don't run off, Fluff. Oi, Fluff. Pumpkin, come here. He's looking at me in complete disgust, like it's too cold to be up here. No, she's gone. She's walking down the loft ladders. So ad revenue will help fund. You get about 3,000 per million views, and they have multiple millions of views regularly. Well, that's better than a kick in the schlong, isn't it? Let's be honest. So you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with that. That's pretty impressive. Oh, that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be to find. I was panicking then. I was like, oh. I thought I'd try and be clever and fix this bit off camera, but I've actually fixed it. So I do not have to worry, which is nice. Oh, no, she literally, well, she's like my shadow, but when she's like, nah, she just goes. I'm like, bye. But she's the first cat ever to walk up and down the loft ladders. And she just sort of sticks her head up, like, you coming down yet? Like, no. And she just goes, she just walks back down again. She's got beds up here. She's got, space. But she'll be waiting for me on the loft ladders, like it's her sort of perch. So she'll just be looking up at me when I start walking down, like she's going to bite me. So she's probably just wants some treats or something. That's all it'll be. But yeah, I've got Smudge, who's just like a chunk. I've got Rocky, who's super long. And I've got Pumpkin, who's just super fluffy. So, I tell you what, I dread to think how much money they would spend just on that amount. I mean, you say it was 150,000 tiles. Well, if you didn't get them from the PAB and you bought them individually, I think from the Lego website, they're 3 to 5p or are they 10p? Hang on. We can do pick a brick, because you can obviously order it from the website, can't you? It gets the right page. Right, so in case you didn't realize this was on the Lego website, this is available everywhere. So you can get any accessories you want. So if you go by bricks, so like I said, look, one piece is £1.43. Another piece is 38p. So when you start going by sets for a value, that's what people do. Because if you were to buy these individually, like that suntan lotion that comes with the minifigures, you'd have to pay 25p for that if you lost it. So it's actually it makes you look at the sets completely differently when you start going, oh yeah, it's actually those pieces are actually quite expensive, and then those are a little bit cheaper, and yeah, they know what they're doing. Obviously, these are all the inside the Duplo stuff, but like that's in a couple of sets. That's 62p just for that. So yeah, individually, like the tiles, we go for what, 1x2. It's invalid. Just give me what it is. Don't embarrass me. Oh. No luck. Oh, am I searching by set? Have they changed it? I didn't think they changed it. I'm going to find the SKU number and type it in individually, because you can see, you literally just can see yourself. Look, bricks 2x2. I wonder if it's a plate. Yeah, is that going to come up? Is that going to work? $16.8. Depends on the color as well. Don't forget, you get charged more per color. So if you wanted a redo for your fire bit, that's 29 pence. See, they're £1 each for those, and they're on all the construction sets. Time 1 times 2, not by. All right, you two. Fancy, fancy, fancy. 2 times 2. What are we going to be looking at? It's actually the tile, isn't it? Not a plate. Oh, just give me the one I want. Stop being awkward. I've ordered so many of these on there. I don't want that. I just want mine. Thank you very much. God, look at them all. All the different colours you can pick for different bits. You've got a little cheese wedge there, roof slope for 7 pence. A long length roof tile for 10 to 16p. Because some of the bigger pieces aren't as expensive as what you think they are. So like if you think that's up to 13 pence for translucent, and a big chunky 3x3 is at 28. And you've got a roof tile, that's at 48. Soon adds up. If you were to order these individually, it would get very, very expensive. That's why you hope when you go to a pub wall, you can make some good things on there. Oh, why? Why? I've got the filter on. I've got the filter on. Clear all filters. Oh yeah, I have. Clear all filters. Gone. 1 times 2 tile. Is it going to load? Is it going to load? Is it going to load? Yes, it is. There we go. We're there. Hang on. Right. So if you wanted just 1x2, we are on there. You're with me, aren't you? Yes. 1x2 flat plate. You're looking at 6 pence each. So if I wanted it in that color, I have to pay for that because that's how I do it. Monsters Inc. or University, says KFDS 6695. Fair enough. Because I have had to get in the past, and it's how they come. That's what you do. Look, you just buy them. So I've had to buy a load of blacks. I got yellows, whatever else. So I've got a load of tan tiles. So if you can't get them from a pub wall, this is the cost that you have to pay. So that's what it will be. Yeah, the complexity of searching the internet. That's it. And John still says it's not an accurate cost, even though it's the cost you have no choice but paying. The best way of doing it is just go to the pub wall. Because if you can get it from the pub wall and you can fill them up nicely, that's how you want to do it. If not, you have absolutely no choice but to pay. And obviously you get free shipping if you spend a certain amount of money. But each thing is individually price marked. So you've got 20 pence, 22 pence. You've got tiles. Don't forget, you can get the torsos for the minifigures. Everything's on here, all as an individual thing. So that's why when people work it out and they divide it by it's only 10p a brick, well, that's great value. because like the Death Star being 10 pence a brick is all well and good. People going, we can't really work it out that way. But the printed stuff is clearly 20 pence or more. So it's probably cheaper getting the set and then actually using the set for parts rather than like those fish tiles, for example. Loads of those came with the spring lantern. So yes, when you start looking at it from this way, because you've got no choice but to buy like a little flat tile with an envelope. You've got to pay that amount of money, which sucks, especially when you can't get them from the pad wall. Because there's nothing worse going to the pad wall for the tiles, thinking you're going to get loads of them. They haven't got your color in, then you've got to go to the Lego website and pay that per one. So that's where it gets a little bit rough. So yeah, it is what it is with that. So hello to 6995. If there's any, is it Monsters Inc. or University you want me to have a look at? There was those minifigures are available, aren't they? They are available. But yes, dribbling away, trying to hunt down pieces that I have ordered multiple times before and still can't quite figure out 100% how it works. But no, they have literally got everything done in the back. And that's why people download the instruction booklets to see the pieces that are included in the set. And then they can work out if it's cheaper to buy it as a set or the pieces individually. It's just madness, isn't it? It's just a minefield of how people do stuff to try and save money for different bits and pieces. It's just a game. Like me trying to get to these pieces on the old website. But luckily, there's people good at maths and I'm not. So I don't know what I'm going to do for the live stream after tomorrow because I've only got one bag. I'm going to have to, I know what I can do. I can build my little Lego store. I've got a Lego store that I can build because I need that in this display behind me. So we can attack and do that as well. And final bag of this, first bag of that. I'm sure I'll be able to drag that out for about 6 weeks. But no, that's it. If you can get to a big pad wall is the cheapest thing to do by an absolute mile. Absolute mile. I remember going somewhere with Jay. So I filled up this of 1x2s, and I think I counted, I had just over 1,000 1x2s in this size. And I think at the time, it's like £16 for something like this. You've just seen the price of what they are each. So it's much, much cheaper. Oh, sorry, Trickle Bricks. Sorry, 6995. Monster Inc. or Monster Inc. or University. Ooh, which one is the University? Is it what one is that in the franchise? Is that the second, third? Because the original's good. I do like the original Monster Inc. And I do like... I have to have a look. There is... What monster? Anything I can do to stop building the Lego, we will do it. So I thought they did do... Did they not do the minifigures for Monster Inc? I thought they did. No, that's not. Or they're just not available at the moment. I thought they did come in a couple of sets, but it's not. It's just giving me Stormtrooper plushies at the moment for whatever reason. Second, probably the first, I think, maybe. I don't know. That's a tough one, to be fair. I think I've only seen them each once. I can't really remember the University. So I'm going to have to go with the original. Just with... Because that's the only one I can really remember out of the two. So... There you go, locked in on that. And the Death Star's pulling away. We're now at 54% for the Death Star. The Black Pearl's dropped to 31%. The Game Boy is up to 15%. And it looks like we're going to have a completely different way around, which means after 2 rounds, the Black Pearl and the Death Star will be drawing on equal points because they finished the opposite way around last time. So, yeah, always a fruity one. Why? Where are you? Where's the clip? Yeah, I've got the films that I sort of really binge watch and tuck into probably aren't suitable for younger eyes, and I don't mean like adult content stuff. I mean sort of like the stuff that Jay's just recently been collecting with all the horror-y bits and pieces and things like that. However, I have just binge watched every single Star Trek Next Generation film. Whoopi Goldberg is in one of the films for about 6 minutes in total, and that's it. So why is she a minifigure? I do not know. Do not know. That is a complete waste. It should have been Q. It could have been anybody else from the films. Wesley definitely shouldn't be in it because he's not even mentioned in any of the films either. So I do not understand why they had to do that. Never mind. Ah, it is right in front of me. Right in front of me. I found it. I found it at last. Now we can add the white layer on. That's nice and exciting. Oh, Dimensions. Yes, that was it. Well done. It was the Dimensions. There was amazing minifigures with those. Because we had a look before, didn't we? They've got Beetlejuice, Knight Rider. There we go. Let's have a look. Is it here? Might not be. I honestly could have just made it up. I could have just made it up that I thought I've seen him as an MF in a Disney wave. And maybe he's not. Maybe I've just lied to everybody because I haven't got a clue what I'm talking about. So you've got the Batman story pack. You've got the Batman fun pack. That does look pretty cool. TJ is a horse. Why don't you have that in your collection? You've got a Ghostbusters story pack because that's got a missing minifigure in, hasn't it? Oh no, it's the female film and just gets avoided like the plague along with every of those films. They don't even think it's a real thing. You've got Bane looking very, very fruity. You've got a ripped Bane. Look, check that out. Just covering the bits that need to be covered up for that. That's a very risky Bane. He got a proper gimp mask on that one as well. And then you have got Knight Rider, which does look smart. A-Team, you've got Mr. T, got a good-looking Beetlejuice. Zane Fun Pack, Harry Potter. No, that's it. So it must be in a Disney CMF. And I cannot be bothered to look for it whatsoever. But the Dimensions are a cool thing. Yeah, I thought I'd seen one. I thought I'd seen him. But maybe I'm thinking of the alien, maybe, from Toy Story with the claw. I've got the wrong film. We'll never know. We'll never know. We can't find it. We'll never know. I'll say I've seen it. But like I said, it could be a complete lie to you all. And without spending a load of time finding it and dribbling and swearing to myself, I will never know. But the Dimension stuff, the minifigures on that do look really, really, really smart. So yeah, it's the thing itself obviously just died a death, didn't it? It just didn't really go anywhere. And obviously we've got the new Batman game coming out next year, so that'll be all over the place. I don't think I'll be doing a live stream playing the games. I'll end up just going completely wrong. Could try and have a bit of fun and try and keep up with the chat at the same time. How that'll be possible, I have no idea. But I don't think I've got a games console to play it on, so I don't think that would be a viable option. That's a really awful looking brown. Yeah, that is the plan, Triple Bricks. I want to be streaming tomorrow late. So I think there'll be a lot of people up. So I'm going to kick things off at 11 o'clock rather than doing this. I'm just going to be in the warmth rather than the freezing cold up in here. Be nice and close to the box. And the plan is to go over all the sets that are in the offer. go over all of the giveaways and things, and then just wait for it to go live and just see within the first maybe half hour what sells out, what the bits and pieces are. And yeah, I've done that. I think I've done that once before. I can remember doing it once before. It wasn't last year, it was the year before, I think. Oh, it was for something. I remember doing it for something. Or was it January? Was it January the 1st? I think I did a live stream going into something quite big, and there was all these new bits and pieces. I think it was waiting for a giveaway for something. So it might have been January. It might have been January the 1st last year. And yeah, I did something weird and wonderful and stupid. That probably sounds about right, because that's how I saw my new year in, I think. So yeah, so more than likely we'll be going late tomorrow, because I think a lot of people will be just up wanting to get the bits and pieces. And that way everybody can let everybody else know what it is they're buying, see how well the Lego website's running and acting. I got the opportunity to do it again the following Friday as well, for the Black Friday. So it does obviously depend on how well the Lego website works. Shibo will be there. Happy days, Shibo. That's good. Because sometimes it works like an absolute pig, doesn't it? So it might not work at all. If it doesn't work at all, I can just basically milk it and talk absolutely nonsense. And is Jay's Toy Collection UK in the chat? This is extremely important. I need to know if Jay is here. I need to know, is Jay here? Just let us know, Jay, because I want to know if anybody can figure out what that is. And if you can not figure out what that is, if I add this very, very important element, just like that, can you now figure out what that is? So that is that bit here. This is where Jay Sigfig needs to be walking around. Is Jay here? Hello? He's like that. No, go away. This is his favorite part. So my question to everybody, how the hell does this mechanism work? Because I have just put together this flap, which obviously works and moves. He might have been swallowed up on the toilet. I don't know if he actually got off. He started talking about 45 minutes ago that he was on the loo. His legs might have gone numb and he's had an accident. But this is obviously a fully functional Fusion Fly What's it, isn't it? So I'm assuming it is going to go torpedoing somewhere. And Shiba, you never answered if how many cats you've got, and we'll see you tomorrow as well, which is fantastic. I might just have to send them a photo of this fantastic artwork. But there is nothing that I have done that goes on, because this is going to go on top of something. I thought this was lower down. I didn't think this was going to be so high. So it ends up somewhere, but I can't. Where does it actually? Oh, does it go through? Oh, right. So in this thing just here, which has got the pull bits on, which I'll take off. So I need to tip this over and show you before they go absolutely everywhere. So we are spending more time looking at this. So you've got this sign. Remember, I put this sign on, and then you've got the pool table. Well, see this thing just here. It's got the open space through. Now, I'm assuming that is exactly where the toilet sits on. So then the gap underneath, which there is a gap underneath, looks like it actually just drops down onto the level below. So no, it doesn't. No. I can't believe they put so much effort and thought into a floating log going all the way from the top to the bottom. Well, yeah, it does. Yeah, it's obviously going to drop. But this physically has to this is going over the next bit. So you can see that's where the pebble is going to be torpedoing out of. And it's not like the Lion Knight's castle where it actually overhangs. So you can have a minifigure doing a Mooney and just dropping one out the side door. This actually goes, this is like the Death Star mechanism. It's actually got to go through something round and then it plops out into the water. But until right now, I had no idea where that was going down. I can't believe that I'm actually rather excited about this element. And of all the people not to be here, it's him. He's too busy doing something or unboxing something. I think he's actually stuck on it, to be honest. I think that's the problem. I think he's physically, he can't stand up. He's dropped his phone. He comes in, tells everybody about me falling through the table. He's dropped his phone on the floor and he's actually stuck on the toilet. We've even... What is this? So not only do we have a toilet roll, we also have the old school handbrake. You remember those in the classic cars? There's one of those in front of it. What's that for? The handle that you hold on to in case you're straining one out. What is that element for? Is there a... Oh, we've added the... Yeah, we've added that. Madness. Absolutely madness. They are adding in now far too much detail around a toilet. It doesn't need to be there, but I appreciate it is. Because you can obviously see into all of these rooms because a lot of the pieces are clear and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think so, Trigger Bricks. I think it... Jay, come here. Yeah. So I'm assuming that is the case. I'm going to send him a very abusive voice note later on. And be like, you missed the best part of the build. This is still all detail around, mind. And we are now building a flushing mechanism. Jay, he's here. Oh, you've missed the best part of the build. Look at it. It's your hole. Well, you know, as long as you're doing your duties and actually carrying the shopping in for her, that's the main thing. It is, Jay. But you've just missed me take this thing apart to figure out where the mechanism is for where it ends up. Because underneath, no, it's got a little flippity flapper just on there where clearly it does something. And now we're building the back seat. So this is the most detailed toilet. I look at the... This looks more luxurious than the one I've got at home. Don't be jealous, everybody. I'm not 100% sure what the handbrake's for, though. If you want to make up your own mind what that bit's for, I don't know if you guys and girls pretend that you're driving or what that is supposed to be. That is supposed to be upright and vertical. Is that supposed to be a toilet brush? Who goes far in saying that bit just there is a brush? This is the most I've shown off the set, the whole build. And now I'm getting very excited that there is going to be I'm going to have another fully functional working toilet. Jay's got one in the Lion Knight's castle. If Trickle Bricks picks up his Lion Knight's castle tomorrow, then he's going to have... It's not really a fully functional working toilet. You've just got yours where you stick it out the window. Mine has a full-blown Lego Technic build flushing mechanism. That is why it is on the box. So I kid you not, there's 2 pieces, 3. That's piece number 4. Then we've got another Technic bit that goes across there for piece number 5. We've got another Technic slotting in just there. So that's 6. Then we've got a ram. Gee, grief. Got to ram that bit upside down. Then we've got another Technic bit in. 7. And all of this is that's the flush. Okay. Yeah, I'll be streaming late tomorrow and following week as well. So if you are available either one, then just let me know. So yeah, just give us a shout, because obviously Jay's going to be doing the Enterprise. So yeah, I'll be using the one with the duck, and I can get your comments on the screen tomorrow, because I'll probably just do 11 till just after 12, and then the following Friday will be the same. Will be the same thing, I think, just to see what everybody's buying and what everybody's doing and all that kind of good stuff. I have no idea how this is working, but you have a very big handle. I'm assuming there's another Technic pin, so you will be able to move this and it will open up. Why? So we get nice working bank machines, or we get nice other working bits and pieces. On this one, it's a fully functional toilet. So you're excited about the Enterprise then, Jay? Because Jay's very lucky, because he's got lots and lots of points. So it's not going to cost him much money whatsoever to be able to get that. And what about you, Shibo? Is anything on your oh, hang on, I've completely missed. So back in 2000, 2001, yeah, I mean, they're much happier as a pair. So if you get like kittens, they entertain themselves all day long. You can just sit there and watch them. It's amazing. I didn't realize actually until you get more than one how happy they are with each other. If you pick them up at the same time, you get a brother and sister, or if you get two rescues, but at the same time, so they're the same age, and introduce them to each other at the same time, they're all over it, Chivo. So yeah, it's understandable. It is understandable, but I will show them off as much as I possibly can, because they are amazing. So, and yeah, so Jay got triple points from Bricklink. That's all we're going to say about that. If you want to ask him how it worked, then I will let you ask. I'm not jealous about that whatsoever. At all, Jay. Not jealous about that at all. That one. That one. That one. And that one. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, it's tough. It's not fun. Not fun when that happens at all. Proper family. Proper family member. Oh, I don't know why. You shouldn't be. Shouldn't be. They've got a habit of just... Hang on. That's a bit late now. I don't know why you are. Like, they shouldn't be... Like, edit it. No. I don't know why. Maybe is it all to do with Lego though? Ah, oh, that'd be why then. That'd be what it is. Yes. Well, if you need any advice, just let us know. Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know why there's so many. There shouldn't be any more than if as normal, because I haven't clicked anything or done anything. What I am having to do at the moment is when the live streams go live, or when one of my longer videos go live, I actually end up taking nearly 50 ads out. There's just literally every minute they add an advert in. It's like delete, 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 delete. So but I can't do that and for like 24 hours after, so that can be a right royal pain in the backside. Yeah, read into it, Shibo, with regards to what it's like, because they just keep each other company and they always cuddle up with each other the whole time. So you obviously play with them both individually and yada yada yada, but when you can then leave and they just cause havoc together. And they're really sweet to watch. Just like basically when you have kittens, it's like watching a fish tank. You just sit there and they're just like woof, woof, woof. And very highly entertaining. And then they end up watching them play fight. You could lose. Literally, they will play fight until they fall asleep, and you then look at the time like, I should have had dinner 2 hours ago. So yes, I will take full responsibility on that. And I know exactly what it's like having one for a long period of time, and then we got two at the same time, and then I think when did I pick up Smudge? A year later. So yeah. So keep us up to date, and I will take full responsibility and blame, Shibo. That is absolutely fine. As long as the place is big enough for them to run around, then you'll be absolutely fine. I'm sure we can try and convince you to get them, though, Shibo. I'm sure. But yeah, I don't know why. Jay said they're allowing them on. I don't know why there's so many. I see there's maybe a subset, like a setting on this, and it's just either turn them up or turn them down. They shouldn't be. I don't know what that's all to do with. So yeah, sorry about that. Especially at the time we're talking about a toilet. Maybe that's why. Maybe if I mention the word toilet, there's loads of adverts coming up from plumbing companies. Who knows? There'll be kittens coming up now for Shibo. Should be seeing like cat food adverts and all that kind of stuff. Just have this, have that. That's it. To be blamed. The detailing in this, look how big that room is with the wall. 3 different colours on the outside. Incredible. Right, a couple of minutes, we're going to end the poll, I think. And then we'll start to wrap different bits and pieces up. I can then check the Lego website. Is there anything you guys and girls want me to check? And then it will be game over on the building side of things until either Saturday or Sunday. And then obviously do the live tomorrow for all of the new announcements of stuff that will be coming out. Pass from Jay. Jay's not getting anything. Don't think I'm getting anything. Trigger Bricks is going to buy the store. Shibo's going to be looking into cat toys now instead. So there'll be probably nothing from Shibo either. What is your favourite theme, Shibo? I'm intrigued to know people's collections and what their favourite thing actually is. It's like, do you display it in shelves? Do you have a table? Like, how does everybody display their own set? Because if you emailed me a video of everybody's collection, I can actually then put it on for everybody else to see. So I can download the video and play the video like anything else in a separate tab, and then just share it with everybody. So if you wanted to show off your collection that way, oh my days, Jay, we're about to throw down 2 pebbles. Look, 2 shiny pieces, and they want you to leave it in the toilet. So you've got an unflushed toilet. It's clogged. I've got a clogged loo at the moment. That is a lot of building work for that. Full-blown mechanism on the back. Yeah, push it down, it all works, and then it opens up the toilet, I do believe. I think you have my eye out. I've just been attacked. I don't think that was supposed to happen. Something's gone wrong. What is? How did I can't? Oh, just been attacked by Well, not 100% sure what is going on with that. But there's definitely something. Honestly, one of them did hit myself in the forehead. So I found one. Oh, there it is. God, I went flying. Ooh. Good grief. I did that. Headbutted that. Right, so I don't think my flushing system is working correctly. So there's a lot going on with this device. It's far too complicated than what it needs to be. I don't quite understand what the second part of this is for. That must be. You've got that bit on the back. See, it moves nice and simple. But that kind of feels like that flicked it back out at me. I don't understand. I got it jammed. I've now blocked my toilet. No, come on. I'll get that back to how it was. Maybe I shouldn't flush it until. Let me guess. I have no idea. How is that even a possibility? I don't think that is. I think what's happened, in my defense, is I got so excited about doing it. What I have not done is added this piece. Or that bit must have been on it. That's the bit that's just decided to hit me square in the face. So basically, everything I built, I've now got to take apart. Oh, I got too excited about showing it off. How has that hit me in the face? We're going to stop there. Oh. So Sheba says, have a city street strip, starts with a parking lot in front of a hotel. Nice. 4 modulars, lovely. Ends up with the seaport and the lighthouse on top of the mountain area. A-frame cabin treehouse, lovely. With a Japanese big wave. Oh, fantastic. Well, if any of you guys and girls have Instagram and I can get some photos off them and get them on the live stream, then obviously just let me know. If not, just send some and I can do it, or email them or whatever, and we can see. That's where the toilet brush is there. Yes, wooden trickle bricks. that would make sense. I need to shove my toilet brush down there. But I don't understand this bit. I don't understand what's going on with this and why that bit's just like that. So I've definitely clogged my own toilet. See, I've actually got the bit stuck. Look, I'm holding the bit. We're going to leave that. Oh. Yeah. I've actually blocked it with the tile now. Oh. Uh-oh, that's the toilet brush. Yeah, let's just stop. That might be a good idea. We'll just stop because it could go horrendously wrong. With Japanese big wave Town space. Yeah, so that sounds amazing, Shiva. That sounds really good. We've all seen Jay's, and obviously the focus point on the pub, which looks great. So no, it's always interesting to see what's going on. But I think I have royally screwed this up, and I don't understand how that is actually a possibility whatsoever. I think that must be a first. If the Lego design is watching, they'll be hanging their head in shame, because could you imagine me ringing customer services going, the flush on the toilet just flicked me in the face. So I'll give you 2 minutes to say goodbye to each other. I'm going to end the poll now, and it is a clear victory for the Death Star. So that spices everything up for round number 2. Goonies has yet to get a vote in. So now, so we got 4 for that, 3 for that, 2 for that one, and 1 for that. So it's 7 points for the Death Star, 7 points for the Black Pearl, 2 points for the Goonies, and 5 points for the Game Boy. So medieval theme, Rivendell, medieval town square, medieval blacksmith, gates and the gates 1, 2, 3, medieval. That's ridiculous, Shiva. Have you got pictures up anywhere for people to see, or is it just your own collection? I'm just going to put my toilet brush back on, so ignore me. So that means at the weekend we will start on the yeah, that's it. Jay's got an idea for the medieval as well. So I got rid of mine for that thing up there. So I would have liked to have done something like that, but sacrifices had to be made, and that was my sacrifice. I still don't know if I made the right decision. I don't know at all. Obviously, I can see it and it looks nice, but I think you make the most of it, don't you? Yeah, I think you make the most of it. Right, guys, thank you very much for joining me this evening. I will catch everybody up tomorrow. So going later tomorrow, and we'll see exactly what it's all about with regards to the sales, what happens if it works, if it doesn't, yada 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 yada. So I'll let you guys go say goodbye to each other. We'll figure out what this is all about and how this mechanism is upside down, backwards, inside out, and technically just took a turd to the face. So that is a great way to end the stream. Baron Door is displayed by itself in a corner. Nice. Original sword from Lord of the Rings hanging on the wall. See, that sounds incredible. So your whole house is just Lego-based stuff, or do you have a room? I've got so many questions to ask. Well, keep us up to date on the next live stream, or just send some photos over. I'd love to see. And again, with you, Trigger Bricks, if you have got your stuff built up, or if it's in boxes, yeah, love to show everybody else's collections off. Right, guys, goodbye. Take care. Stay warm if you're from the UK. Obviously, stay warm if you're anywhere, but it's going to be cold again tonight. And it's going to be fruity to drive around tomorrow. So I'll catch you with everybody late tomorrow evening. And everybody look after themselves. Take care, everybody. Bye, bye, bye.